Before we start this review, we'd just like to remind you people out there that this is the anniversary of Macho Man Randy Savage's death. R.I.P. brother, you will always be remembered. NJ, any special words about this momentous occasion that we have here?
Even though it's been 2 years, he's still a big name in the company, and he's definitely worth being mentioned, especially now with the fact that it's been a time since he passed.
Yes, and WWE, get this guy in the Hall of Fame, seriously. We open up this show with an ambulance rushing into the arena. You have Ryback coming out on the back of last night being pretty okay, and this whole segment was short and sweet and to the point. He basically proposed him and Cena face off in an ambulance match at Payback.
This is the first thing I want to say, a bit of a spoiler for the rest of the show. The guys that was injured, apart from one, actually solved their injury pretty well. Ryback was strong enough to stand at the top of an ambulance. John Cena not up to be there.
He was even on the show, wasn't he?
Other wrestlers were fine. But the way that they're already hyping up, the first bit of hype going to the next pay-per-view, thumbs up. I thought it was a good opener to set that up.
Yeah, it's a short and sweet opener with Ryback. I don't have really many complaints about it. Miz and Jericho versus Barrett and Fandango. Thank God Barrett has got some new freaking music. That's all I can say.
A bit of a random opener, but at least it looks like they may be teasing Miz and Barrett, Fandango and Jericho again. I don't know, but it got them on Raw, got them involved, which was a good thing, I guess.
I guess Miz still technically has that rematch from the loss he had on Raw to Wade Barrett. The whole focus on this segment was really on Fandango, though. You had him sort of hanging out of the ring on the outside, and he's dancing around while Barrett ends up doing the job. And then you have Fandango running away from Jericho and Miz, allowing Jericho to dance to Summer Rae, who kind of just shuns her. It's kind of funny.
It's a bit of a shame that, yes, they're trying to put Fandango as much as they can, and Barrett's just there to do the job, when it looks like the WWE still have no idea of what to do with him.
Nope. All I can say is, though, Wade Barrett here, Fandango here, therefore Barrett should be doing the job. Sheamus versus Titus O'Neil. Sheamus wins this pretty clean. It was set up mainly on the pre-show of Extreme Rules or something, and apparently, according to the WWE app, Mark Henry went home last night after his match, after his brutal 8-minute match with Sheamus.
The thing I'll say about this, Titus O'Neil looked good, I guess, but obviously we knew when Sheamus in the match he was going to get the win. Mark Henry walking away, a storm off because he lost to Sheamus. He may come back and want to get his revenge to make another match, but this match just gave Sheamus another win.
So Shane Patterson Pancake, or whatever the fuck his name was, didn't show up to this one, as he definitely would have won. One of the big questions going into Raw was who was going to be Heyman's third client. You know, we'd heard massive rumbles of the fact that it could possibly Rob Van Dam with his ECW connections, but we get to the segment itself, and the actual third client was Michael McGillicutty.
No, Mike Hennig, that Hennig guy.
Yeah, Joe Hennig. Yeah, Michael McGillicutty, who's now going by the name Curtis Axel. I must admit, I did kind of laugh when this first came on, saying that he's the Paul Heyman guy. They tried to compare it to like Lesnar's debut and him bringing CM Punk in. And do you know what? I guess the way I see it is, you're bringing in a new talent. At least it's not Rob Van freaking Dam who's getting this spot. That's all I can say about this.
Bringing in Mike McGillicutty, we've heard Triple H, or if you read the internet, Triple H is hiring, wants to bring him in. So to bring him in and put him alongside Heyman, yes, he's had a name change, but I think, as Paul Heyman said, repackaging him, making him out there more, maybe this could be a good thing for him.
Yes, Triple H likes this guy so much that he comes out to the ring looking totally fine from his main event match last night, goes face-to-face with Axel, slaps him down and talks to him like he's nothing. So yeah, he really likes him. He's definitely a Triple H guy. And you know, I liked how Paul Heyman was also talking about talent being held down in WWE, such as the third-generation superstar like Michael McGillicutty or now Kurt.
But for his first match, his recreated character to be his first match against Triple H, yes, we'll get to main event later, but his first match as his character going against Triple H, good thing, I guess.
Oh yes, we'll get to that match later, don't worry. Alberto Del Rio versus Biggie Langston. Was anyone else surprised that Biggie Langston got a 100% clean win over the new #1 contender? I was.
It's a bit of a shame that Alberto really, yeah, you'd expect Langston with the body size, the strength, that to have a chance to beat main eventers. But to beat Alberto Del Rio, our #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, I guess it's a good way of putting Langston over for whatever's to come his way.
And I guess Del Rio had just been in an I Quit match, so I guess that kind of helped Biggie Langston get the win. Who knows what they're going to do now with Biggie Langston? Technically, he could be a #1 contender, even though his so-called, he's managing a guy who is the champion. AJ versus Layla. All I can say is AJ wins with the Black Widow, and Layla tapped that ass, didn't she?
That's the thing, because that's the thing that this match can be remembered for. The fact that AJ has a good way of finishing matches now, and in this move, it gave Layla a chance to have her moment of shine, and she spanked AJ.
It also looked like Caitlyn didn't want any part of the love stash either. Do you know what? I think Cody Rhodes and Caitlyn would make a good couple.
That's the thing. That's another thing I was going to mention earlier. This whole boring, forget the Carly stuff. The thing about this whole Caitlyn secret boyfriend is this a way to bring in yet another name into the WWE?
Hell, why not do it? When I saw Zack Ryder versus Cody Rhodes, I was with no emphasis or anything. I was thinking, wow, what are these two jobbers doing out there? But it soon became very, very obvious when Rhodes wins. You have Ryback coming out to kick the living shit out of Zack Ryder and put him in an ambulance, kind of hyping up the fact that he's going to probably put Cena in an ambulance at Payback, blah, blah, blah.
I look at this and think, okay, you want to get Ryback in a strong, dominant way. So for him to come out and destroy Zack Ryder, a guy who's not been relevant for a long time, to use the ambulance to put over a low guy like Ryder, doesn't really send the best message. Maybe could have used a higher up guy that could have done with maybe a timeout or what needed, but at least it was some sort of message to Cena.
Yes, he wasn't there tonight. We cannot stress that enough. Now, the Shield promo. Now, do we believe in the Shield, who are essentially now, from what we see by the belts, a mid-card faction?
The thing is, what I believe here, you do not want to rush the Shield. So if they continued being main eventers, yes, it would have been a big deal for them. But to give them championships, to make these championships mean something, the tag, you'll give it to a credible tag team. The mid-card championship, you'll give it to a good guy that can make it mean something. Before three of them progress higher.
So we had the Shield versus Team Hell No and Kofi Kingston, and this was actually a pretty damn good match, wasn't it? It ends with Kane getting pinned with the spear from Roman Reigns. And it was interesting that earlier on in the night you had Kane sort of alluding to the fact that Daniel Bryan was the weak link into the team, and he ends up getting the pin. I thought that was quite interesting. Pretty good match on this show.
The way it was cancelling down, Daniel Bryan had his times in the match where he was looking good, but then he got beat down, tagged in Kane. Kane destroyed for everything. So for him to get the pin, saved Daniel Bryan from getting pinned and stuff, but overall the match delivered in a real strong way for Raw and the 3-on-3 because of Extreme Rules. And
Shield get yet another win. Jack Swagger versus the choice of Randy Orton, Great Khali, and R-Truth on the WWE app. Apparently, 160,000 people voted for this one. Do you know, I really, really have my money on Great Khali. And do you know, it was quite funny that Great Khali got outvoted. Great Khali outvoted R-Truth.
That means Khali won then?
Well, no, technically Orton won.
I didn't know that.
So we got Jack Swagger versus Randy Orton because we needed an app to decide that. An RKO out of nowhere wins it. It seems like with this clean victory, Swagger's push is probably now over.
The two things I want to say about this is it's really sad how when it comes to polling who you want to put against Swagger, one main eventer, two non-main eventers. If there were three main eventers, it would be more of an interesting poll. Scrap that. The finish, yes, Swagger's. I think that the whole thing that he had but outside of wrestling really messed things up for him. Pretty much.
Yeah, sorry, I was just in awe there as to what you were saying. And so yeah, Randy Orton gets the win. The WWE app is continuously stupid, and I'm tired of it already. Let me get to our main event of the evening. What a lame finish. Kurt Angle versus Triple H, versus Kurt Axel with Paul Heyman. His first match on Raw in 3 years, and you know, how lame was this finish? I know you like Triple H, MJ, but how many times does it have to be about Triple H? You know, you get the ending of the match really didn't go on that long. There was no definitive finish. Kurt Axel just, you know, fades off into the background, and once again the show is all about Triple H as he can't walk. Just this lame-ass fucking finish.
There's two ways I would have seen this. If it did go with Triple H versus Axel, Yes, there could have been Axel getting a win because of an injured Triple H, or Triple H would have just won because he's Triple H.
Hey, why not have done that? Have give the young guy a win while also continuing on the storyline that Triple H is injured. But no, it couldn't be done that way, could it?
That could be one way, but I do question why they're focusing on Triple H. Is he going to be written off, or when he's got his strength back, is something going to come from it? But we'll have to see next week.
Oh, who gives a fuck about Triple H anymore? Right, overall thoughts on this show. Not a bad Raw. It was okay. The ending was lame, but it wasn't a bad Raw, I felt, really. There was some decent stuff in there.
The best thing that shone out for me was the opener, because it set up the next pay-per-view, the Shield match, because that combined lots of stuff going. They're the two main things that stood out for me.
And the amount they were trying to put over Michael McGillicutty until Triple H came out.
Michael McGillicutty.
Yeah, Michael McGillicutty.
I remember him.
Yeah, I remember him too. He's now called Kurt Axel. So anyway, leave us your thoughts on this show, and more particularly the ending, down in the comment section below. The title of this video will be It's All About the Game, because it fucking well is. Mr. Parkin here, NJ here.
Oh yeah! What's up?
We are the British Fist.
Catching!
Oh yeah! And goodbye.